He briefly sought employ as an orderly at a Polish hospital. There, he spent his days as a type of hairdresser. Early in his adolescence, he heard the national news of the brutal assassination of Russian Tsar Alexander II, and soon after he immigrated in 1888 to the United Kingdom to be with his sisters in a safer land. Doing this separated him from both his father and mother, who would not be able to immigrate for at least another decade. As time passed, Kosminski found an affinity for being a barber, having done it during his time with the Polish hospital that he worked with. Unfortunately, he began to show up for work less and less as the tides of mental illness washed over him, slowly depreciating his will to continue in this new land. He relied on his sisters heavily and never had been able to right himself and settle into a new routine. He was a ghost walking the streets of London. It is about this time that Aaron turned to the women of the night as his own projects. At this time, several officers note in their journals about a Jew named Kosminski as their prime suspects for the Jack the Ripper killings. In 1910, Assistant Commissioner Sir Robert Anderson claimed in his memoirs that the Ripper was a low-class Polish Jew named Kosminski. This Kosminski was watched closely by the prying eyes of the police at his brother's house in Whitechapel one fall evening. According to Anderson, he was taken with his hands tied behind his back to a workhouse, and then, some years later, to the Colony Hatch Asylum, where he died shortly after. This, however, wasn't completely true. Kosminski's feet shuffled through the halls of Colony Hatch Asylum for nearly 28 years to come. So we know unequivocally that Aaron Kosminski is Jack the Ripper. You might be wondering how. It turns out, in the end, his own hubris led modern scientists right to him.